Welcome to Conscience, a gripping noir detective mystery brought to life by Balker Studios. Our story begins on a rainy evening in the heart of the city. Jack Beckham, a man with secrets, has been found dead in his apartment. The official's report called it a suicide, but something doesn't sit right. I'm stepping into the shoes of a private investigator, meticulous, methodical, and unrelenting to uncover the truth. Through every clue, every piece of evidence, and every chilling discovery will peel back the layers of this case. Together, you, me, will decide, was Jack a victim of his own conscience? Or was it something more sinister at play? Turn off the lights, grab a cup of coffee, and let's begin our investigation. It's a dark, rainy afternoon, and I'm standing at the side of the street, but I'm not here for pleasure, unfortunately. No, I'm here to solve a crime. They call me Red, but that's not my name. My real name is Mr.Senpai, the Black Detective. Today's case, a man named Jack Beckham. His father sent me a letter begging for help. He says there's more to the story. Here, let me read you his letter. Dear Mr. Red, I'm writing to you in profound grief. 1 week ago, my son, Jack Beckham, was found hanging in his apartment. The police have ruled his death a suicide, but I know in my heart of hearts it isn't true. During the week before his death, Jack had been acting odd and distant. I believe it has something to do with an accident at his work, where tragically his co-worker died, but now given Jack's death, I'm unsure what to think. There is more to this than what the authorities have determined, and I need your expertise to uncover the truth. His apartment is located on 59 Crown Street. Search it and see what you find. I trust your reputation for uncovering the facts that others overlook. I hope you can find the truth and justice for my son. Sincerely, Christopher Beckham. Christopher Beckham believes his son was murdered, and now it's up to me to prove it. Time to head to Jack's old apartment. Just me and my trusty flashlight. And a gut feeling that there's more to this than meets the eye. It always amazes me how terrible things happen in such beautiful places. Apartment 59, a quaint building with a dark secret. Of course, the door's locked and no spare key in sight. Figures. Christopher could have made this easier, but then again, nothing's worth doing ever is. Maybe the neighbors know something. Or maybe the backyard does. The backyard's empty. But there's a grill and a potted plant sitting suspiciously close together. And what's this? A key tucked away under the plant. Classic hiding spot. The back door is locked too, but not for long. The house is dark. Too dark. First thing I see is a fan, dangling from it a rope. This is where it happened, huh? Jack Beckham's final moments. There's a TV on the right and a couch nearby. On the couch, a suicide note, hastily written, almost like an afterthought. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry for what I've done and the mess I've made. Work and life became too much to bear, and I can't live like this anymore. Everything's painful, and I don't know what's the point is to keep it going or trying. I have been struggling for many months now, and I'm sorry. Forgive me, Jack. But something about this doesn't feel right. The handwriting, it's shaky, it's desperate. Does it really belong to Jack? Or is someone trying to cover his tracks? The chill was creeping in, but the case was just heating up. With the lights on, the apartment came into focus. Dishes piled in the sink, dirty counters, and what's this? A shiny oven. Hey, this is the kind I've been meaning to buy for my mother. Jack had good taste in appliances, who knew? Then the trash can by the fridge catches my eye. And what do you know? A key, right in the garbage. Strange place to leave something so important. Who throws away a key? The desk was next. Cold coffee in a mug. A computer powered off, and in the small drawer, a phone. Scratched and locked with a passcode. It felt like the kind of clue that would crack the case wide open, but for now, it stayed silent. Then I found the concert ticket. October 31st. A night Jack never got to see. The walls had a clock. The hall had slippers, but nothing spoke to me quite like the bedroom. A small, cozy space. The closet had a get well card, signed by a group of names. Mark, Jay, Nate, John, Lucas, and Megan. Jack must have been injured, probably at work. I continued searching the room until I hit the jackpot, a ravaged journal. I'll take this back to the living room and see what we got. October 10th. The site was a mess today. Rain delayed the concrete pour. Spent day fixing the scaffolding again. Lucas also wasn't any help, half donkeying everything he always does. He just wants to get the job done and doesn't give much of a on October 11th. The concrete finally got poured today, now dealing with the faulty pipes. Premier Construction's cheap materials is biting us again. Had to have another safety meeting at lunch, but doubt it's gonna change anything. 14th of October. Was supposed to grab beers with Nate, but had issues finishing all the scaffolding in time. Of course, Lucas wanted to rush it so we could finish on time. I hate that his low safety standards are rubbing off on me. Should talk to him about that. So, Jack was a construction worker. And Lucas, well, he wasn't exactly the poster boy for precision. Cutting once and measuring later seemed to be his motto. And it looks like that bad habit started rubbing off on Jack. Maybe that's where the injuries came from. The get well card tucked away in the closet speaks volumes. But then there's the journal. Torn pages, jagged edges, and a sudden stop after October 14th. It's like someone didn't want the story to finish. Did Jack rip them out? And if he did, what was he hiding? Or worse, who was he hiding it from? The pieces were starting to form a picture, but it was still incomplete. The answers I needed weren't here. Not yet. I kept circling back to the phone, locked tight behind a passcode. It felt like a riddle, daring me to solve it. Then I remembered the key from the trash and the locked grill outside. Couldn't hurt to try. Maybe, just maybe I held the missing piece to this puzzle. The key from the trash fit the lock on the grill outside. Inside, I found a note, and ripped and tattered, but unmistakably damning. It read, October 22. It's all too overwhelming. I can't take this guilt. Me and Lucas I need to confess. This was it. The smoking gun. Jack and Lucas were tangled in something dark, and Jack couldn't bear the weight of it. But the police missed this? No wonder Christopher called me. Back inside, I started putting the pieces together. Jack was alive on the 22nd, and on the last date on the calendar was the 23rd. His phone's passcode, it had to be connected to those dates, or his mother's birthday. After a few tries, I cracked it. Mom's birthday. Inside the phone, the story unfolded like a tragedy. Call logs, texts, emails painted a picture of guilt, deception, and desperation. Lucas's text was a dead giveaway. Let's keep our story straight for the investigation. Mark was on safety duty and forgot to verify the load. You and me weren't assigned for safety duty. Got it? Yeah, okay. It was a cover-up, plain and simple. The texts were damning, but the email sealed the deal. Mark, a co-worker, died in an accident likely created by Lucas and Jack's hastiness. A death Lucas and Jack tried to pin on safety protocol failures, but Jack's journal told a different story. Lucas's recklessness rubbed off on him, and Mark paid the ultimate price. The guilt ate away at Jack, driving him to the edge. Lucas wasn't about to let him confess, so he silenced Jack the only way he knew how. A phone call on the 23rd was the last record of Jack's life. Lucas was the last person to speak to him. The suicide note, the ripped journals, it all pointed to one thing. Lucas's conscience, or a lack thereof at least, was the real killer. I gathered all the evidence and sent it to Christopher. Chat Beckham's story wasn't just a tragedy. It was a warning. Guilt has a way of catching up to you no matter how hard you try to outrun it. And that's the story. Another puzzle solved, another truth uncovered. Chat Beckham's tale may have ended in a tragedy, but at least now his father has the answers he was searching for. As for me, I'll be back. There's always another mystery waiting to be cracked, another truth buried in the shadows. If you enjoyed walking these rain-soaked streets with me, do me a favor. Leave a tip. Not cash, but in clicks. Hit that like button. Leave a comment with your theories and subscribe to the channel. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next partner on the case. Until then, keep your head low, your wit sharp, and your conscience clean. This city has enough trouble without adding yours to it.